Well, shit. I'll start early, but... Oh boy. At least I sound better. But welcome to Pure Hell. So I gave in, I guess. As much as I love Centipede, and as much as I say it, this build is good for what you need it for. Hearts. People use your own hearts, please. No. Fine. Person don't want to help. But what's funny is this is the mythic build, which I already had a lot of the pieces for. It's not even the optimize. And it's real. It's, I'm going to put my own twist, because the build I found is not shit, but I feel it has some holes. Look, you're bleeding some damage and efficiency killing, but in reality, sure. It's one of those things of the frame rate of the game. Don't like this. Frame rate of the game is not a happy camper in this. It's really bad. Like, basically spamming is not a good thing. Basically, this is basically spamming attack, but that's what it does, unfortunately. And but I need armor. I need specific. Like, you could spam attack speed on this and it be about the same, but now I don't know if you need the barrier. Now, realistically, I think the shit, I forget what it's called, top of my head, overcharge. So it's a very quick farming build. Now, realistically, yeah. Does it take a little bit more than your normal? Probably not. The problem is it is gear dependent. So, more than anything. Now, but I need glyphs. That's the biggest problem. Every time you do a character, you always have to refine glyphs, which I fucking swear is always a pain. I mean, as I say, frame rates, this doesn't go well. Are you, Senna? This build and frame rates are not your best friend. That's because, realistically, it's probably the reason why. My YouTube is being weird. I'm good though. At least I'm feeling better to a degree outside of things. I'll have to do. But every time you start a new build, But to be fair, I've been doing a lot of farming on other builds, but this will probably be the build. If they don't nerf this, this will be my first build next season. Just because of the farming route. It's nothing but spam attack, basically. That's all this build really is. That's truly, truly all it is. Oh, hello, Edward. By the way, why are you trying to be a... Why are you being weird on Twitter? You're being a Karen, by the way. You don't think I didn't notice, by the way. I've seen what you've been doing on Twitter for the last days. I mean, I saw you being the concern, Karen. Like, trying to EVS. That's not a good look, my friend. Perfect. Whoa. Bro. See, that's why I call you a Karen. You have no morality and no cause. See, now you want to, like, suckle EVS for a while. Makes you look bad, Edward. Really, really, really bad. But they're both the culture war. Bro, you don't believe in the culture war. You'd be for consumerism. That's what you do. You're a consumer. You don't care about quality. That's my personal opinion. You do if it affects you or something you want. But overall, you don't care about the grains of coal. That's why I think it's rather funny. Ugh. God, this is an annoying build. But if you need a build to clear and do things, this is the build for it. Combined with a bunch of mythics, everything's fine. But this is the mythic version of it. So this is the mythic version. And the mythic version is a lot more powerful than the normal version. But I need the glyphs, so without glyphs, I can't really do the full potential. And apparently I am not getting them. So I am going to have to go off to Nightmare Dungeons. So. And I gotta figure out a look for this character, because this character looks like ass. Very boring build. I say that with the most respect. You know. But this is the reason spiritborn are overpowered. You want the proof right here, you see this. It is mindless farming build. In the hands of an expert, you're a god. In the hands of a layman, you can even a half-ass person can pilot it. And in the hands of an experienced player, it's ridiculous. I feel it needs more overpower damage. But it is borderline gear dependent though. But like if this build maxed out, dear God, does 1 trillion damage. It's because the damage you do is bugged inherently. Now, will it remain this way? We'll find out in about another season. Unfortunately. You can basically pilot this build half asleep. Now, what I would change is the runes. That's the problem. But what really makes this build tick, by the way, is the 2 mythics. Combined with actually having a half-decent rod. Can I fast travel? No, I can't. Thank you. To be honest, it's just an attack spam build. But this is the build I should have built first. don't need the druid barrier, though. The problem is you don't need the druid barrier. You need... Assuming you make this banished lord, right? You do this with banished lord. It was right here. You can do overpower damage. But here, I would say the overpowered. You'd have to roll... Not vulnerable damage here, but you'd have to roll overpower damage. See, it flies over people's heads. This is just that math game. And you take your overpower damage to absurd levels, basically. I mean, but to be honest, if even half-assed, this build still basically just destroys. But it is brain dead, though. Unfortunately. But if you need a speed farming build, you get it. See, they say to use yens, but I don't agree. Also, it works out that I don't have a yens. I have the other one, so... Again, frame rates in this build do not like each other. Nor does, this build is single-handedly responsible for a lot of server lag. But the Mythic build is very different compared to the other. The Mythic build is more overpowered, but your resource generation is usually high. Huh? Why would I talk about you? You weren't more interesting to talk about. A lot more interesting stuff to talk about that day than you, Edward. Do I think of you as a Karen? Yes. You will always be a Karen to me. And that won't change. The only day you'll cease being a Karen is the day you stop acting like one. Believe it or not. Do I think you and Chris Bacon both are delusional? Mental patients? Possibly. No, we were talking more about the Chris Bacon thing and what happened with Tony. Getting reined in by EVS. Surprised you weren't there. Which I think is more entertaining. Because as someone who knows how to find smoking guns and find stuff like people, I usually find if... The problem with Chris's narrative is he spews a lot of bullshit. You can always spot it. If he really had the thing to take down Renowned's channel, he would have done it by now. Simple as that. He doesn't have any evidence. Again, he reposts old screenshots. It's like weird, like, you wouldn't think the case would be, but he can do it. Fucking really. Can I go down the way? No. I'm here. Lately, I've just been catching up more on things. To be honest, more resting. I had to get this build built and done. Creativity is where I've been to the last few. Then I have to figure out the internal math on this build. I was doing last night. Again. See, Edward, you were concerning yourself too much. See, you know why Renown doesn't respect you? It's more funny to make fun of Tizo Spencer. It's also very funny to find out that Tizo Spencer is, I'm just gonna call him, Sailor Tizo. I mean, my God. A man who plays with grown Sailor Moon dolls. That's a little weird. Again, he plays with grown Sailor Moon dolls. Grown man. That's creepy, dude. That is creepier than fuck. By the way, no straight man is into fucking Sailor Moon. Just so you know. That man is either a closet case or very bisexual or pansexual. Just saying. The only reason I know that is over the years, man. You look at the fan bases. I mean, Tizo, man. Jesus Christ. That man... By the way, no, Edward, correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't, Tony make fun of him for Renown for playing with dolls? Yet he tolerates Tizo Spencer, who plays with dolls and poses with dolls on his channel? Like, is that not weird to you? Like, fucking serious? Nah, these jokes write themselves, right? I mean, look. Jokes write themselves at this rate. I don't even have to try it. Right? That's a joke? Yeah. I mean, it's like the other guy I found. The tall black nerd guy. Like, the jokes write themselves there too. And he can't even answer the question that he's everyone's a grifter, right? Fucking shit. Fake black video game nerd doing concern troll stuff. Man, that is not even the point. What the... Tizo conduct... Okay. Tizo doesn't conduct himself with respect. Oh, hell no. He conducts himself with the respect of, like, a fucking mongoloid who's unmedicated for the wrong condition, basically. And if he's given medications, the man's delusional. And the fact alone you simp for him. I mean, again, you hang around people who are losers, man. I can't think of a single person and side you've chosen in 2 years where you're gonna get a W. It's weird. I mean, again, a poor moral judge of character. I mean, I disagree with that approach, but and don't even bring up fucking Theo, bro. You're dealing with Chris Bacon, you're dealing with Schizo Spencer, you dealt with Tony, you're dealing with a whole side of the fucking internet, which... Oh, and you also suckled the teat of EVS. Like, I mean, my god. I'm not trying to be mean, by the way, Edward, but dear god. You take your L's, man. Learn to grow up. Like, I don't ever want to hear, like, normal people. Like, it's depressing. Like, gotta think about that. Tizo Spencer, who literally watches another man fuck his wife. Come on, dude. Literally. Like, the wife's the breadwinner. Let's be realistic. Gotta think about that. It just looks like shit at the end of the day. And the man calls himself a rip. Yeah, fuck my life. That man's a meme. Again, if he is not on heavy psychiatric medicines, he needs to be. Just saying. That man is connected to the internet like 24/7. That's how bad online, terminally online he is. Yet, people like you, Edward, say, he's not terminally online. My, me seeing his pattern of behavior says differently. But, I don't know. Basically, that man's pattern of behavior basically is that of a guy who can't disconnect from the internet. Again, I've seen his type before. Just saying, people are insane. Take it from people who have dealt with either his people for years online. Tizo, man, he ain't your champion. Chris Bacon ain't your champion either. He knows that Chris Bacon knows the law. Bro, every time I see him, he goes, think about it. And I own him. Like, nah, dude. Quiet. He makes your side look bad. And by your side, because you chose that side, is what you did. It's your side of the internet because you chose it. I hate unlocking all of these fucking teleporters. Again and again, I have to do it every character. I just despise it. Season in, season out. You always gotta unlock the fucking teleporters. Please fucking give it to us. If we at least discovered them on the main map. Would kill them to do it. What's funny is a lot of people are getting into this game around Black Friday. Looks like I'm not going to catch a break this season, because I'm going to have to help friends level. Okay. why. Depends whose idea of fun we're talking about. Me dunking on you is normal. Why do you think I care, Edward? Well, the moment someone realizes you're a Karen who doesn't give a fuck about the causes you fight for, you care more about the controversy than the actual fight. Anyone can hear it in the voice. It's not even the whole point of how it goes, right? It's just in your voice. Someone can just tell. And you call yourself unique. It's the furthest thing from it. It's like listening to a lefty redefine their position. To be honest, I'm finding it more interesting because I'm trying to track down. And it's funny, I think I saw Tony's stream the other day, Edward, which is so funny. You'll laugh at this. If you see TJ, right? It's such a contrarian. He loves anybody who fights a person he likes. Or not person. So enemy of thy enemy is thy friend, according to TJ. Now, again, I want to see TJ. Someone said, oh, Short Fat Otaku is based. And TJ's like, I should go talk to him. He might be a friend. In the same stream, he bitches about Markiplier and YouTubers. I want to see those two retards join forces, man. Because Short Fat Otaku and Dev, aka Dev, and TJ would be a match made in heaven as far as stupidity and farming content for me. Because, again, you know, both are retarded on the level of... Both are leftist and communist, by the way. Both. Where they'll sit and suck each other off. Second off, they both hang around people and make dumb statements constantly. But, details. But I am very good at predicting patterns of behavior from people. Does TJ wanting to think Short Fat Otaku is based? Oh, he doesn't really like anime at all, either. So he is either A, too stupid to realize, or he is just that bitter. TJ also hates VTubers. Apparently, from what I gather. Now, I know why Dev got picked on by Pippa, by the way. Like, I know why he did. And the funny part is, I wish TJ... Like, here's the trick. TJ doesn't understand why. I do, though. That's the thing, right? It's so hilarious, everyone who thinks, right? Because we know... I mean, it would literally be the leftist communist. It would be a Canadian cuck hooking up with an Eastern European Eurotrash. It would be the greatest conversation in the world. And it would be entertaining to me just to see. And I would be curious who would see who would call each other retarded. Again. The greatest part of being on the internet that I know of. But then again, bear in mind, TJ just thinks, literally goes, oh, a base person online. They could just be a friend. Okay. Good for you. And it's funny, the man doesn't like anything. TJ's just this bitter fucking loser. Like, every time I hear about him, he just randomly says something really stupid. Like, but Markiplier's bad. Smash JT's bad. Bro, you're on YouTube now. You're officially a YouTuber. This is what they do to us. TJ, the biggest thing I've ever said about him is he has no self-awareness on his actions. Okay? That man has zero self-awareness. Because he declared himself a potential ally of Short Fat Otaku. The man who is basically went after the same guy, said the firefighter who basically got shot by Trump, right? Following in his mentor's footsteps, right? Of Destiny. Said he deserved to be shot. And he wasn't a hero. That's who TJ wanted to side with. I mean, bear in mind, right? Sketchbook would eat his ass up too, by the way. Because Sketchbook, by the way, if you don't know who he is, and he's in Ruby's chat, he's in all Tony's chat. That man is an avowed leftist that follows Dane. That should scare people. Just saying. And the only reason I know a lot of this is because what's funny is a lot of these names keep popping up over the years. And they go from one chat to another chat. And, like, Baki is basically a special ed retard. Like, and I say that with all due respect. Because apparently I'm Raging Golden Eagle. Okay? I'm Raging Golden Eagle. Yeah, says the man who basically... Yeah, don't even get me started on him, man. Baki's a fucking tard. Actually, I do not know who's worse. Him or Sketchbook. Sketchbook at least makes sense. Baki is just delusional. Then again, look, people who you are supporters. It's fine. You choose them as supporters. You want them in your crowd. By all means. Can I get over there? The answer is... yes. But I gotta dash across that field. Then I can get back and go get that route walker. I can go back and get over there and get that route walker. Indeed. Yes. Again, the whole thing, when people practice enemy is thy friend, you gotta be careful who you back. Because a lot of people who people think are saviors, they are not. You know. I do love this class has faster movement speed. Well, I call leftist an insult because it's not an insult. Only people who think it is. Oh, I'm sorry. See, there's a lot of people who are around, like, people online. Like, see, Stimmick, the funny part about this is, right, when you look at people, like, you will never look at Baki the same when you realize whose crowd they come out of. Like, Edward you're talking to first popped online, and he came out of Dane's proverbial asshole. And he tried to suck up to Dane. Now he hates him? Yeah, okay. Here's the thing. I don't know. Like, he would love Dane. Dane is a progressive piece of shit compared to anybody. You know. Think about this a second. I mean, I at least gotta congratulate Dane for closing his fucking account on Twitter finally. He can go live on Blue Sky and be around a bunch of weirdos and pedophiles now. And fetishists. Cool. But, that's all nice. But man, people's history on the internet actually follow them. It's like Preston Moore, right? Preston Moore. Jesus Christ, my dude. That guy... Look, there's some problems there. That's nicely put. Not the allies you want in the world, man. And you know what they do? And they're all in your circles, man. He's if good Charlotte was fucking edgelord material at this rate. No, you hung out in Dane's stream more than once. Do not lie. Do not lie, Stray Beans. Do not fucking lie. You know who I was covering? You know who I was talking about before I was talking about Tony and them? Edward. Edward, it was Dane! And Bob! You don't think I remember who was all in that crowd? Come on, my guy. Really? Really? I want you to think about something. You gonna lie to me when I don't and lie and say, I was only a date chat once? Bruh, you found yourself there. You gotta realize it. If there's an anti-Eric July force online, you're there. You make the biggest people look sane. You make the best of us look sane. Realistically. To take the worst of us and look at you with your 12 alt accounts. The least of 4 you admitted to me once. And then when you would stalk Renown's chat and we would ban you, knowing full damn well you have like 10 other alts. That's not normal behavior. I'm just saying, crazy people deserve the company. Again, I want to see TJ hook up with fucking short fat otaku. One's a Canadian communist, and the other one is a European communist. So, I want you to understand, that is liquid gold. from a person like me. I just want to see who could out-leftist the leftist. And calling a person like him even that is funny. Because, man, they would probably bond right up until Dev starts talking about being bi. Every other sentence. And then they would just vibe. That's how sure of it I am. Because I've heard TJ mention what he looks up online in private hours. That man ain't no Puritan. In reality, I need to look up and see what glyphs they say to use for this build. But I need to get the glyphs, but trying to get the glyphs are just a pain in the ass. I've only gotten a couple of them. Why do you want to come ruin this stream? I'm not only. Why? 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 Why do you want to ruin my stream? All things. Looks weird. Leave me alone. Why do you want to make yourself look like shit? Oh look, there's a home, there's a guzzler. 2% damage. Fumigate. Coming along nicely. Now I only need 9 more. Then I gotta look and see which ones I need to level up. I think I need Fumigate. You know what this build needs? It needs overpower damage. It does. It really, really does. But I lose a little bit of armor if I take off that. I mean, to be fair, even at tier 4, I have literally, like, what I literally have, like, the 4,000 plus armor. Which is hilarious, by the way. I have that much armor. Right. I kinda questioned why this build doesn't have armor built into it. I think I know why. But it takes a good amulet. Because what I need. Oh. Oh, God. Fuck. Besides, I need a better outfit for this thing. This character looks like a dorp. This character looks like Edward does IRL. Entirely mismatched and ugly. It really, really does. I feel I don't need Earthen Barrier, though. Believe it or not. I don't need Earthen Barrier. What I need... See, Earthen Barrier is all good. Fortunately, I'm broker than a joke currently, and I can't get the parts. I would love to get 4-star parts for this. Man, I can't afford it currently. Everyone wants too much for this build. They really, really do. So I need Colossal. Fumulate, right? So I put Fumulate in the first. Hubris. 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 There you go. Good. See, they put that in the first, which I understand that. That's right. Here. See, I don't know why you put that there, but I know why. Like, that is supposed to be 25. Like, you think you're gonna wind up there. Like, see, that's strength, But you see, why would you stick that there and there's no strength? You put that there because of the things right here. But to do that, you have to have strength. Which I would have remapped that entire part. Because this doesn't make sense. I don't have talent yet. I don't have spirit yet. I still am missing the glyphs I need. It's a hard one to do, because a lot of these, if you're looking for glyphs... Because are you really? See, I don't have, I need the ones. Because I got Hubris, I got Hone, but I don't have the other one. I may have to find the ones... It's the ones they say I need. They say I need, right? It's Fumulate, Talon, Hubris, and Colossal. Basically. Fumulate, basically. I mean, hell, I'd turn this character into a glass cannon in reality, which I probably could do. The problem is I'm still missing Spirit, I'm missing Talon. I'm basically missing Spirit, and I'm missing Talon, and I'm missing, like, it's certain... thing I hate in this game. I'm just... yeah. What they're saying, I'm just trying to figure out how he's making this build work. And the problem is, I would just rather have, like, Hubris, or they... so Sapping or Hubris, or one of them, because, to be fair, there is more to just buffing. But, like, it doesn't make sense to, like, have Sapping, Revealing, Convergence. I mean... see, Fulminate doesn't make sense either. Because Fulminate, right, it wants those at 100, but it's also assuming you have a dodge bonus. But that's the difference in the class. I feel like the dodge bonus isn't needed. It's just saying you need the dodge bonus. It's just, I don't know if I like that theory or not. I don't know if I like that. I don't even know. It's like, if you say the others, I don't even have them. Because, see, fire damage doesn't work. Like, Hone serves me better. Like, Hone, Headhunter, Bane. I'm not using the circles. Oh, I do got Spirit. I got Spirit. Like, the thing, what is it? Shield? No. What's the shield is? I hate the one. Okay, hold on. I saw it. You know I did. Hubris. So, 30 out of 40. See, that makes sense. Converge. Wildfire. Turf. See, that's DR. Hubris, right? Hubris would be here. Hubris. So let's see, Hubris is here. So. See, I get why that's there. But you're not going for the dodge bonus. Well, in reality, Talon. Let's assume Talon is 16. Fulminate. And I don't have Headhunter, Bane, Consumption. Consumption isn't vulnerable, Fester, Fulminate. So if you stick, see what's funny is if you stick Headhunter here, normal mode, it's only those. It's not the other. Fulminate. And I mean, the idea is, but I'm still lacking Talon and Colossal. But all of these are strength nodes. So I have 3 out of the ones. You know. See, he's been playing Spiritborn longer than me. I still need both. I need Colossal and I need Talon. See, I need both Colossal and Talon. I mean, legit, I'm just going off another person's build, but the problem with a lot of, like, Spiritborn is very tied to its absolute build. By the way, I have this one. Now, I know the way to make this more explosive than it actually is. Oh, there's Colossal. See, there's Colossal. Why did it drop double Colossal? Really? Now we need Talon. Mingress. So that's what I need. See, there's Colossal. Now, usually, people... I gotta say that this doesn't make fucking sense. The thought this bored out. I'm halfway tempted to redo this entire board just to make this one work. Because this board, the way the guy pathed it, it makes no sense. I guess it makes sense if you could just ideally do it differently. Like, you go in to do that and you put strength nodes in place. Which, you went straight down for the 100, but you're not going down for the higher end. Why? Well. So the thing about Talon, right, so I might always find a substitute, but so Talon is what I need. Glyphs are very important in the long run. Because if they're trying to do this, this is not the best mapped Paragon board. I mean, ideally you're trying to correct it, though. Again, I will probably be the one to correct people's homework if I must. Because it is crazy in the term. I mean, what's funny is, even without the Paragons, this is strong enough probably to be close to tier 4. But the issue itself is the... So Talon is in Convergence. Talon is still useful because it's 20 times the 2 highest types combined. Now, the funny part about that is that one makes more tech than Fulminate. Unfortunately, so 281, assuming the person is at 281, which they call a normal damn level, apparently, which is not in Paragon. Combination, you steal other people's homework, but you don't. I mean, a lot of this is just pure and simple RNG trying to get the other thing done. Because Talon, I can't just get it normal. No. Okay, I could go without Talon, though. So, Eagle skills. So, yeah, those are both Eagle. Outmatch. That is out. So, magic nodes, right? So, these are magic nodes. I don't need it, I just... Where's the last one I say no, that is not there? Because if you see how many magic nodes are there... You know what? Here's the funny part about that. Incarnate, right? Yeah. That's a better one. Rare nodes don't necessarily matter. One matters more if it's the other. Fucking people. I have determined a lot of these people who do build sometimes are retarded. Again, this is a recent build because they don't think about it, but these people usually need to understand. Gotta think about it. Oh yeah. I mean, I'd overlook. Like, I'd look at a couple that I'm missing and see if... See, yeah, so some of these aren't good. See, here's the funny thing about Canny, right? Canny would be really good. Which, believe it or not, Canny would be really good in the terms of figuring stuff out because you got intelligence, that's 25 intelligence. And you're already collecting intelligence to a degree in certain parts. With glyphs. But you get more glyphs doing these than you do anywhere else. The only thing... That's dumb. This whole board needs to be like redone. But it's designed for someone who's like 284 or 281. So they have more points. You can go around and fuck around with. You can make any of those builds work. It's always a problem. I always hate builds. Building in this game is always cancer at times. I won't lie. I always find it strange. Like, it's so funny too how many people just randomly, like, they think they have it right, but like, I don't fault people because a lot of it's pure RNG at this rate. But, man, do they do that. Again. I mean, if we're talking efficiency, right? See, I'm getting more glyphs. Almost got all of them, but I think I want uncanny, though. I just want uncanny. That's what I want. Or canny, basically. Yeah, it's called canny. Because that's the one I need to find, is canny. Then I can stick it into place for where I need it. The greatest part about this build is that it's one of the better builds to speed farm with. Pick up like 10 here, because it's going to be different than the one. See, Storm doesn't work. The last two I'm missing is both Canny and see, that's the thing, a lot just dropped from that last one. So I'm missing 2 now. See, I don't know. See, those should both. See, like 2, right? So the last of them, Talon, and what, Canny. Then I just gotta place them. I gotta place them, basically. Will be better. The issue is much is just RNG in this game, is that I don't know. Sometimes I feel I played this enough, right? Once this happened, there's Talon, yes. Now I need. Yep, that'll be the last one. I need. This last one should drop in here. So nightmare dungeons are more faster than the normal. Basically. Got it. Yep. So nightmare dungeons are officially faster than to farm all your missing glyphs. Unfortunately, so that is hilarious. So you need glyphs, come to nightmare dungeons. Basically. Could be RNG, could be anything else. But nightmare dungeons are probably that. now I gotta get them placed. I know the ones I want, but so that is effectively done. Now it's getting the glyphs into the right positions, and then getting them leveled. So but this character still got a long way to go. I'm gonna have to masterwork everything. See, the thing is, I'm not ignoring you guys in chat, but I'm just trying to clear this out as quick as possible. So, okay, now I need this place in shape. Now I gotta get my build in shape, which... but I will need masterwork materials out of the ass for this build. At least in the initial. Now, I would change one damn thing in here, though, but it would require a different set of jewelry and a different modifier, though. Here's the thing. It requires me switching over to overpower damage. That's gonna be like 20,000 to get done. The only thing I hate, masterwork materials are easy to get. It's just 20,000 to get done. Just awful. This level. But it comes quickly. I just gotta get them placed. Placing glyphs is not... the Paragon system is still annoyinger than death. So... it's annoyinger. So the issue I find is now that I got my glyphs, I just need to socket them. So. lot quicker when you have to fucking find them. See, the thing about glyphs are... I need to find the actual, like... I might expand it so it's easier to work in. And you can't set them as favorites, so... Glyphs, at least. Because I would change out a couple of the glyphs they want done. But I would definitely change out for the barrier, though. See, rare nodes don't really help. See, like, spirit is still good. But the problem itself is there's two problematic ones. The thing is, lightning damage is very minor as well. Revenge is if you have thorns. If you don't have thorns, it's pointless. See, the problem is he's an Australian. He should go to bed, man. It's like 24-hour difference for him. Boy, I just gotta place it now. They're always going to be shit. I think it's easier to find the gear. It's easier to find the gear, but... See, even in here, like, I have 4,000 armor. It's ridiculous. I have more armor than anywhere. See, I would say outmatch, right? Because a lot of these you already know you're going to use. The ones you already know you're going to use make more sense. Wildfire don't make. See, talent in theory, right? So spirit. Spirit is dexterity. Spirit, if you had to. Here. What's funny is that makes more sense. Unless you stick that somewhere where there's the other. See, revenge would make sense. See, this is assuming what? You have a bunch of intelligence in this one? No. It's a wasted of a spot. Strength at 25 makes more sense because you have strength node here and strength node here. And strength there. Because that will be 14. Uncanny is 25 intelligence. And the furthest it would be is 5. I hate... Jesus Christ. Gives me... Polearms level... It gives me polearms level 2. Well, fucking 2 GA polearms. I don't need... hate that. It gives me 2 GA polearms. I don't need those. What's funny is no one uses them. No one uses GA polearms. Well, at least. Because they're always using a name. Yeah. You see, Edward, I deal with more people overseas as much as I deal with Americans. You should sleep and be responsible. So you can use Harley Quinns, or you can use, it's actually the thing. I've seen both. Like, it's really weird what people use, so... See, Outmatch is good. See, that's the thing. Rare notes, right? See, these people don't think about this, right? So, 25 to everything. And all you would have to do is reroute the board. Because they don't think about this. They don't maximize They don't maximize what you're supposed to be using. When you're talking, and see, Headhunter makes more sense here. See, like, people forget that Headhunter but at the same time, if you do that, fucking retarded people. But once you usually figure out builds, it's usually how it goes. My Headhunter's only 10% to elites, though. See, usually about this build, it's good. It's just the question of, you know, the ones you're going to use. You know, spirit is going to be used. Spirit is basically, I mean, the thing is, spirit would be here. But yeah, it's 40. You can do Bane. Bane doesn't work. 25 intelligence, though. See, there's not intelligence there. That's what I like. See, there isn't. See, yeah, see, spirit might be better here because of the 5. See, spirit is better there because of the 45. Honestly, you could. You could almost reroute. See, I would just redo and reroute some of those. See, the issue with a lot of these nodes are you have to actually reroute them. See, I hate that, though. See, people who put builds out online, they're good indicators, but they're not good in the long run because you're going to be spending time literally just redoing them. Weirdly enough. Dex, armor, and life. Wow, that's a... That should be easy. Armor and life. See, the question is, what does he want the GA on? To be. So the problem is all my skills are Jaguar, right? So Hone makes sense. But Hone is strength. See, Hubris is the other one. But Hubris is also a strength. A lot of the nodes you need take strength. That's the problem. A lot of these are the ones you want to use are contradictory to basically the build. I don't know. Hubris could be done here. But see, I also like Hubris here as well. Hubris here is good as well. I just found my intelligence. I just found my intelligence. Indeed. I mean, you may have to. I may have to literally. I say that, but I may have to literally remap this entire board. This pyre one, because I know what they're looking for, but the way he has it set up is really dumb. It's the only problem when you look at builds in general. I hate a lot of them because a lot of these people, like, they don't think it out. Because, like, if you're trying to optimize for damage, you're going to go for something else. Because it's like you're leaving something on the field. And I can get why the person's not going for armor, but armor helps better. See the ones at 45, probably. But this does necessarily isn't. See, the thing about it is, a lot of stuff that buffs magic nodes are usually pretty good. That's usually how it works. A lot of stuff that buffs magic nodes, you put them in middle of magic nodes, which are the blue nodes, you get bonuses. Once you realize the idea. The furthest they get is 5. But dexterity is going to be the easiest on some boards. But finding intelligence is different. Some of these boards do not have a lot of intelligence. A lot like Edward's End of the People. And that joke's never going to get old. So, like, here's a lot of dex, but that's what they have. So they put for Viscous Shield, they put Spirit, which is dexterity, right? Which, I understand why that's there. Like, I get why you put that there. It's a lot of dexterity, and once it goes out towards, what, 15, which is max 5? Like, it's basically max, basically there. Sure, that's like an 80. See, like, a hone is good, but that would be a strength. Because a hone is something you level up as well. See, here's one. So you put dexterity. You could put spirit here. But, see, if you go out 5, there's intelligence, and then there's intelligence. Spirit makes more sense being there. Or if one has intelligence. Because this is the main board that has intelligence. This takes a little bit of remapping. I mean, I'd level up some alternatives, though. I'd get enough XP for it. See, hubris makes sense for what the build asks for. Hubris is always important. Fulminate, I don't know why it's even in here. Because a lot of boards don't have intelligence, so it's furthest from an intelligence-based class. But in reality, they'll still say it needs to be there. But you still need Colossal, basically. Colossal is always gonna be in this one. But here's Hone is a different story. Talent isn't needed. Revenge would make sense depending on how many thorns you have. Outmatch is another really good one. See? Outmatch, and even though it's not here, is 25 strength. Outmatch, you just gotta find the strength in the board to do it. That's additional damage to bosses and elites. Again, people don't think this out, but if you do, it makes more sense. You think about it because the guy's missing out on damage. I mean, basically attack speed is good, but it definitely needs work. That's the only problem with this build. Like, it's so gear dependent. But like, you could, if you get the right build, the gear, you can squeak out a shit ton of damage. But I'm going to level a bunch. Because in reality, you do have to level more of these than you need. Because even if... I just don't like where some of them are placed. Then I would have to remap at least half of them to get them to work. But it would be worth it. Remapping Paragon boards... See, Diablo 4, basically realm-based, but at whatever the start of when you come into Eternal, your first character, that's when it screenshots, like, or saves whatever it is. Basically. So the idea, right, is we didn't complain, like, you have all the Lilith statues and your codex carries over. But once you're in seasonal, it's realm bound. So any progress I make now is going to go into Eternal, basically. The only shit that's not shared between characters is glyphs. I just wish it was, but... So I was just on and deleted a couple of Eternal characters. Paragon rank and certain stuff is tied into seasonal. It's always how it works. So, the thing is, Paragon ain't gonna carry over because it's gonna be season based. But the thing is, Paragons are tied. That's the only weird part, and I do not like it about it. Eternal is that place where it's not good, but where if you have the... it's one of those things of, yes, you're regrinding every season. But some seasons are better than others. Like, very few are getting to, like, 300. Like, if you're here... Like, if... Oh, God, if you're still... going to be grinding out like here, yeah, you're going to be doing. Paragons are definitely the only reason I want my Paragon at 300 is just pure for eternal, nothing else. Pure Paragon at eternal is mainly for that. Paragons for Eternals is basically so if I ever want to keep a character in Eternal or make a character in Eternal, I don't have to fuck with anything. But every time you have to make a new character, you always have to redo glyphs. So, they're not the easiest things in the world. So Canny, Colossal, Hone, Outmatch. Spirit, of course, there's a couple. I already see that I need. The ones that are sucky, though. I can't help it, Cynic. You mean the mouse? Yes. If you know how much badly I actually kill a mouse about every year. This game is where you hear more of it. The louder your mouse button is, the more the... You know you have about killed it. This mic picks up more than I think it does, though. I'm very bad on macros in a lot of games. The problem is I use a membrane keyboard. And fuck you on the... Jesus, there's a helm. But 3GA pole arms. Where they go eat one. Now, I usually about kill a mouse about every year and a half. Systemic. It's bad. It's like, that's just because of the sake it's just because the fact that the issue itself is, like everything, it just wears out. Keys wear out after a while, too, so. About every year, 2 years. And it also depends on how macro heavy you play. Basically, I play micro and macro heavy. Basically, my left trigger button sounds basically it's awful. Nah, but the thing about Cynic is builds in this game are very key. Like, that's what determines your abilities to do things. It's like, once I get this leveled, he wants me to help him out, so... Which I'll do anyways. Yeah, buttons wear out, man. Yeah. Believe it or not. That's it's insane, too, because some things are only good for, like... What is it? I'm thinking of the example, the perfect example. Koreans playing StarCraft. They were like... What's funny is they're like... Micro and macros are like 200 clicks a minute. 100 clicks a minute. Yeah. Think about that. Depending on your keyboards, you basically either kill a keyboard or you kill a responsiveness of your keyboard. Depending on the game, it's a lot easier. If something is WASD, it's a little bit less. More expensive keyboards, you can kind of replace the keys. But you're good until the triggers go bad. But that's why my mouse button sounds as bad as it does. I'm surprised it's held up. This game I have to move by mouse. It's very unfortunate. Because that's the spring going bad out from underneath it. And both are that bad. You gotta understand, like, RTSs are clicks per minute, basically. And that's what's the crazy part. Like, an actual gaming one will, like, last you pretty much a while. But to be fair, they start going bad. You know when they start going bad when their response is like ass. Which... Luckily, I've been very lucky with lower end keyboards. Not really lower end. Like I have a HyperX right now. Like, but membrane keyboards wear out less than membrane mechanicals. Mechanicals break down. Membrane, they'll basically break down less than they will. So the problem is, like, with the mic I have, it also picks up a lot. You can tell, like, it's a mile away. But this one, yeah, the way this game works, this one in particular, you are button smashing to high hell. Oh. Not quite the damage is not there. It's good in spirit, but not in good in the build. Survivability is good. Damage is not good on tier 4 yet, apparently. See, if I leave it running, you don't hear it. But as soon as I let it up, man, that is the key. I just play too many different games where it's just murders it. It's the same with headphones. I usually don't. It's just you can't rely on too many. See, if you worry about replacing keys, it's a separate story. See, the good thing about Diablo 4, though, like, the thing on Diablo 4, you can always look up a build and just follow it, but you can change it. Physically, I change a lot of builds I see. Like, I just don't like certain ones. It's like this build. It's Quillvolley, but I'm changing because the guy who did the other, I have a rough idea what he was going for, but it just doesn't make sense. Because the glyphs he's asking to use, or wants to use, don't make sense on this board. It makes sense in the board if it hits 300. But if it doesn't, you're leaving damage on the floor, basically. A lot of this is like, it's a very easy game to follow a build. And for the most part, something that's not gear dependent. Like this class is gear dependent. This particular. Like, this is mythical. So, mythical requires you having the part and getting the Harley Quinns. Right? Which is relatively easy to do. Like, to be honest, a lot of people just share resources. Like, I did last night when I got off and I got Fallout 76. I came over here, got into a group. Someone wanted to do like 4 hours of bosses and just free carries. We just rotated resources. So, I mean, it's just RNG. Because a lot of it's just, most of this game's RNG versus time. Once a build's in place, you're good. I mean, to be fair, this build I pretty much farmed. And I mean, to be fair, if I wanted to make this build top notch, is very expensive in-game wise. I mean, again, you don't want to know what a 4-star of this runs. A 4-star of this runs right here. That's like a 3. Is like a 50, 60 billion to 100 billion. People want like a fucking arm and a leg for it. So you settle with what you can find. Basically. To be fair, the community here is very helpful. That just... Seasonal is more helpful than Eternal, I should say. But the key is team play. A lot of people share builds. Seasonal is relatively short. If it weren't for the expansion, I probably would not be playing as much as I am. Because I just want my... As I said, I want my thing to... But yeah, the only thing that sucks is you have to physically do this every single character. Now, I will say, if you want to be a lazy asshole, and I mean, that's fine, not the time to invest, go with the most broken class in the season. And then just get done with the pass, and you're done with it. And that is Quill. That is this class. This class is the class for the season. I think, yeah. see I've leached off him, but the concept is finding stuff. Like, I've picked this up from just boss farming, but I've had it forever. The game keeps giving me Harley Quinn's crest. I mean, what is this? See, I've been dismantling these so I get resplendent sparks. But I mean, the thing about people's own builds, the only thing about it is you can do your own. It's like what I did with Centipede. My Centipede is my own build. I have something I want to test, and I think it can work, but it's a very weird build. It's going to require something. It requires a Shattered Vow, maybe. I want to test it with Shattered Vow. See, the thing about a lot of paths, even though you do your own build, it just is depending on how you're speedrunning. Now, if you throw enough power behind something, it always works. But you have to maintain to certain points. But the problem with the end game, right, where you're playing in Tier 3 and Tier 4, currently, I say currently, is you need the numbers and the beat DPS. Like at Tier 3, like, you see me obliterating stuff. But if I come into Tier 4, I can survive, but the thing is, surviving doesn't equate to damage. Surviving means living. Surviving doesn't mean I can scratch the damage ratio that I need to be in Torment. Well, Torment 4. Which it sounds weird to say. As much power as this build can generate, I can't scratch stuff in Torment 4. I can survive Torment 4. But surviving Torment 4 is an entirely separate thing from dealing with... But, like, realistically, like, when you look at my Necro, as much as I love my Necro, it's comfortable in 4. So the thing about it is, like, here I just have to figure it. See, Spiritborns, you have to figure out how to exploit the additives and the multipliers, the additives, and the... What's the other? The additives and the multipliers mainly. The additives and the multipliers are what makes Spiritborn tick. Basically, if you spam attack speed with this build, you do a lot. But in reality, it's where this... And then, if you don't get the right gear, you're just... It's weird. That's the strange thing. Like, what's funny about this, right? They're not using this build. This one. Ragnarok's Wake. They're using Yin's. Okay. This has cooldown. This has resistance to all elements. And 135% non-physical damage. That is an additive. And a multiplier. Both are the same thing. So you can kind of work around. I mean, Shroud of False Deaths don't really change. They're the same build. There is variance, but in reality you could take like a path differently. You might not be able to 100% clear. Like, I mean, I can go straight to tier 3 with this character. I can live in tier 3. That's why I need to redo my centipede one. See, viscous is where... But Spiritborn, I suspect they're going to nerf next season. I just don't know what. I don't know how they're going to do it. Like, Shadow Necros can actually live. See, the build that it's using, so I would easily replace, like, I would not be using like half of what, see, what I would want to level, right, is, it's not the headhunter, it's the spirit. It's a couple that you know you can use or you can change out. Like Uncanny. Like, Uncanny makes more sense. It's like 3 out of the 5 work. But I do not like 2 out of it. Like, anything that uses intelligence in here, there is no intelligence. And every board is different. Because it just doesn't make sense. Like, certain abilities make sense as well. It's not even the meta, because that's what they're saying to use. But when you plug it into the board itself, it doesn't work with the board. You're leaving damage out on the... You're leaving damage out. It's kind of like weird. You're leaving perfectly probably thousands or millions of damage off. And if that's the case, why would you really go with it? Which is strange, you know. Because I said to him, it's like, it wants you to use this roll. It's talking about using Talon. Talon, it uses Fulminate. Fulminate is a weird one. Where the hell would you stick that in? It doesn't make sense. You're not going to stick it. It's like, basically on Centipede, you got to make everything... you got to make everything vulnerable. there's even that, like, that build works for me, but I'll usually do my own thing. Like, a Shattered Vow works because I can actually take. So, a Shattered Vow, the Shattered Vow Spear, basically makes it where if something is more damage over time than its actual build, it dies. It's that. Enemies affected by more damage than their remaining life are executed. So they're just flat executed. What's funny is it's very much the case and easy to do with Centipede, because Centipede has poison, has the one. But there's a version of this build that uses overpower damage, yet you just have to change out what you use. So the 3 out of the 5 makes sense. The other 2 don't. Like, lightning damage here doesn't make. See, this is wind damage. But why would you have that if that doesn't matter? That's why, like, with my Necro, I'm able to do a lot of shadow damage, but that's damage over time. So, it's the weird thing when you look at certain builds. Yeah, Siege, Edward. But Spiritborns were a tough build for people to figure out, because a lot of them are purely off meta anyways, most of them. You cannot duplicate. Thing is, you can't duplicate gear. Except for mythicals. Mythics can be duplicated in a degree, because they're all the same stat. Uniques really are not all the same. Basically, very rare do people pull the same gear. Even though you can get dupes dropped, by the way. You can get a lot of dupes dropped. That's a problem. I've actually had it happen, but they're not very good. You're playing the RNG game, basically. What I... Tier 4, yeah. Like, I know the ones I want to use. But it's also going to require remapping is the problem. you leave buffs on the rare. What's funny about it is the combination of what I would say. Now, see, talent is. I mean, both are probably fine. Like, I mean, I would have to remap this entire board to make stuff work to get there, but I still test it because it's supposed to explode 15 times as well, so. So it's kind of strange. So if Quill is doing it's the strange one because 16%. Like in the board, 16% isn't much. See, hubris is fine. Spirit is up there. Like, spirit will multiply. But what's strange when you look at something like outmatch, right, is built in. Outmatch might, but it also helps. Basically. It's the problem of like 16% in the ability to explode. That is not good. Unless you're literally remapping it. And even then, it's just even in the dexterity in the board. Like, fulminate goes off intelligence. Because that's a problem. You're basically laying off. You're basically going off. Eh. So that's what makes it weird. Oh yeah, no, I mean, Quill, like, this build unknowingly has a bunch of armor built in. Because there's that weird thing as well. That's why I say Talon and Fulminate don't make sense in a lot of the boards unless you're literally remapping. To go spend nobles because I am leaving nobles on the floor. So you're not even doing it. It's like Talon, you're not even getting full advantage out of. Because that's the odd thing. Even he's noticing it. Like, you're not filling it out. Like, something I have, like, outmatched, right? You're getting more definitely out of. And all you are is rerouting through strength nodes. What's that? I think there's a few. What's funny is, see, the Mina is good as well because, like, it's the combination you're looking for. Because Hubris is both good. Because, let's assume, and I can get, like, what are they saying? My thorns. So I want to say I get stacks of thorns with resolve. See, Hubris is definitely used. Right. I mean, as I say, like, it's like 3 out of the 5 makes sense. So. I mean. Yeah. And see, he's noticing it, like, Mina, like, there's certain ones, because if you're not meeting the objectives, I mean, it's fine. See, a lot are strength objectives, so. But then again, a lot of glyphs are purely for one aspect, so. It's one of the, so what's funny, it makes Hubris kind of funny in its own right. But yeah, speedrunning 100s is different. Because it's very easy to gain a shit ton of resolve stacks. Like, I don't know, some days I'm not sure. A lot of the minute theory crafting. And I mean, spirit is straight crit. Basically. See, it's like you're always going to have resolve stacks out of the ass, basically. Combined with, I mean, the mythic build, but then again, there's a whole bunch of damage you have with mythic build, too. So. It's not that anyone doesn't have fulminate. The issue itself is your experiment. You experiment with it. So, I might level Talon, but I mean, you're assuming, but you're also assuming too, right? You can get a bunch based upon. You're basically assuming you're going to get a lot. And if it is, as I say, it's a lot of here is just picking out, like, stuff. You're picking over, like, maybe a minute percent. But spiritborns are all about maximizing certain effects. And you're taking advantage of loopholes. So, a lot of stuff is. It's like, I think I've discovered a couple of stuff that I should have discovered in Centipede looking at it. Because there's a difference. Because what's funny about the whole casting gorilla skill, like, you get like 1500% weapon damage. Just causes shit to just go through the roof. And that's without the, and if you're doing overpower damage, that's entirely a separate damage. Oh. The old man may have fallen asleep in the afternoon. Even though I've been up since this morning. Occasionally. But the thing about it is, a lot of people are, but the board I'm looking at too is wanting to be 280 to 300 as well. It's the problem of you shouldn't be looking at this board. Which you have access. I don't know why I'm half dead. Because I wouldn't say if fulminate and the other one is bugged, but oh god. So the problem is when I don't do anything and I just start falling asleep. I'm just getting carried, it doesn't tune out. It makes it get really shit-tastic. I hate it. It makes it really annoying. Apparently, there is martial law in South Korea, apparently. Due to the recent governmental change. Looks like a lot more interesting things in the world to cover than Edward. A lot more these days. But I will probably have to remap this entire thing. I just don't know why, like... So, initially it was he made this with like 100 in mind, and it was meant as a leveling, but this guy initially, it's made for somebody who literally has like 300 points. It's not made for somebody who isn't there. It's a strong build for that, but at the same time, it is not made for that. So like if you're talking outmatched or hubris, like how I would break in, like I would take this build, I literally would take this build and go into overpower quite frequently. Just honestly, and that's my look. I mean, I'll probably take this into overpower. You know. And that's something I'm actually pondering. There isn't much difference between here and like the overpower. Because the overpower build requires just a slight change. But I don't have it. Because actually, that's probably what I'm thinking. Because Talon doesn't make sense. I'm pretty sure Talon in Fulm's bugged. Part of a bug. That's what I'm thinking. Talon and foam have to be part because it doesn't make sense in a build. It's getting it tested. I don't know how far it can even go. Because I know, like, 60, like... Apparently my necro suffers at 60. Because with this, it's a lot of the glyphs. But if I go the overpower build, that is it's slightly different. That's changing gear, though. But for the most part, I'm happy at least I can get my stuff to pull a 50s. To be honest. Pulling 60s seem a little bit harder. And that's with max gear, so... I'm not sure. But a lot of this stuff needs to be purely remapped, though. More than none. To be honest, this build looks like somebody had like a lot more time on their hands and they've just been doing nothing but glyph farming. Because what is it? Fulminate. Huh. Actually kind of nice. I have something I want to try, though. See, I have something I want to try in the build, but I got the idea for it. I mean, what's kind of so sucky, though, is the critical blow. I mean, Jesus. So weird. It's also nice having Google not bother me for a month. Man, I may have to dig into the one like why like short fat otaku is a piece of shit. Man, that guy. If I ever shit on Short Fat Otaku, you will understand. I come from Arch's community, and like he's been having it out with like Aiden Paladin worse in the last month, couple of weeks. Like Aiden just blocked him, and like apparently, as I said, it's like Pippa basically. So he's been basically arguing with Kirsch for a while because one of his mods wanted to argue with her. Kershey. Now, Dev is basically involved in so many shit shows online. It makes Tony's look like a fucking cakewalk. And I don't know why TJ thinks, oh, a person's based. It's like, yeah, Dev has a base take, like once in a goddamn blue moon when he's not talking about an innocent man not covering or dying as a hero covering his family. Which, how does that man know it? I mean, not to mention he's also turning on V. I mean, oh, that is such a, it is beyond a shit show. See, like, Talon, it makes sense, right? I'm assuming it has to be with because of the multiplier. I just literally have to get those levels to even test it. Was like, because I'm looking at it where where they want it, and it doesn't make sense. Basically, Dev is it's a whole, like, that's why I thought it was funny. I'm like, I don't even know how Tony Top found out about, like, someone brought up Short Fat Otaku, or Red Guy found it in the chat. It was like my sketch thing. It's like insane, like how they find these people. It's like, it's just so weird how Dev gets found by other communities, but they don't. They think he's like based until you actively deal with him. But that's what I said. Him and TJ will bond over their love of left-wing politics and communism and fellow totalitarian governments, because that's what they do. These people literally just bond over that. See how it works. I think it works from the perspective of I'll just have to respec on a lot of these. I just need to see it. There's a combination I'm looking at. I have a feeling I'm going to have to do a lot of remapping. See, I need to get viscous on my other one. But I need, like... The thing is, I need actually, like... Demon. Fuck, it's like, Jesus. 5 more? On my spiritborn? Believe? Like, my spiritborn is using, like, all, like, 290 points I have, basically. Which I need to clean that board up, too, so I already got an idea. What the fuck, that's a trash amulet. I'm already using, like... I got lucky and found a 2-star rod, but it's definitely there. I can kind of see why in the skill tree that they would have not rake. Where is it? One that they went here. It's like, why did you use here? Because I looked at it, I'm like, why would you go here? Because if you use that ring, you get here. Which is here, right? This one. Yeah, probably not taking you get the passive from it. That's why I need to actually look at this. So I'm not certain. I see like my attack power is good, but it's at the same time you have a lot of attack power. Wow, it actually gave me 3-star gold. Yeah, I'm actually shocked. That's 3-star gloves. I'm wondering if they're any good ever. Interesting. Ruby key. Interesting. What? Wow. Jesus, that is too much XP. Fuck it off! Thank you. Stop it. Game keeps giving me 3-star weapons. I hate it. Stop giving me 3-star weaponry. At least for a little bit. 3-star weaponry. It doesn't surprise me if to get to 300 is a billion. Which really doesn't make sense. Yep. That's my luck today. I keep getting 3 GA pole arms and quarter staffs. I don't need pole arms or quarter staffs. Not at the moment. And it's not going to be better than a rod in its spot. So I'm curious though, a lot of this, like I keep getting 3 GA quarter staffs and I don't need them. Unless they're rods or they're from the other shit. Because you're not using them on here. Basically. A lot of this here is getting the glyphs, but I'll have to put a theory crafting into place. I'm not sure. Test it out. I'm not sure though. Why does my YouTube chat keep disconnecting? Well, see, the problem is he's finding out is you don't really have basically base 50. Like, 50 ping is like pretty much nothing. Like, it's nice to have, but dear God. To argue with. See, if I play on crossplay, even that's when I have a lot of desync. I have more crossplay on desync. That's a strange thing, right? Like, a base ping is good up until you have a lot of desync. That moment you hit a lot of desync, and that's when the problem. I mean, like my ping in Division 2, at most, that's what's funny, even if I stream, it's like 10,000, so. But I could actually stream into YouTube at 10K, basically. Which is funny. See, depending where you live in the US, you can get good internet or not. So, and that's how it works. But this build is, I like it, but man. Streaming, though, shouldn't eat a lot of your stuff up, though. Really? 1G fiber and you... See, his internet's all over the place every time I play with him. His is like... But if I'm by myself, like, he's on mine. He's like, most it's like 68. My internet is stable as a damn thing. So I was playing with him. See, every time I join on him, there's always lag, though. I join on him, and it's always like fucking lag of fucking central with him. Which is funny, it's like, I only have like one device. Like, even if I stream, like, he's like, and it's the funny part here is like, if people usually join on me, it's like, my net usually is more stable than many. And that's at least the beauty of where I'm at. Like, so Google Fiber is the only other speed that would be better. Now, I will say the only time my internet's wonky, even at worst, the base is 64 for me here. It's really game dependent in reality. So a lot of here, yeah, so 64. But in Ubisoft, it's like 38 to 40. Like, my net's literally very crystal clear. If it goes anything higher, I usually have issues. That's not like streaming. If I stream at the main, it's like 11. At least what's here. Usually if I ever complain about my internet, it's mostly because I have a horrible intermittent net loss that happens periodically. With basically like the fiber I have. Honest, we get a lot of potion drops at the end of these. The irony is we never use them. So the problem in 3D crafting is that that's curious. It's why I think it's sometimes funny, right? When people want to deal with strange people online. I usually deal with them. That's crazy enough. Most people I know are normal. Usually people like aim while we're just doing the same. Like, he straight copied a build, but he absolutely sees it. But the issue itself is I have a friend who started, he just logged on, he's from India. I'm going to be playing all this damn season. I love it and hate it at the same time. This happened last year. Basically. Because that's the thing, it happened last year too. Like, yeah, like, even if we're getting this, we're not getting XP. Like, You gotta understand, we don't get XP in this game. We do, but we don't. It's just pure, unadulterated, like, assume we get any kind of shit. It's like, oh, you get 8 million here, but damn, 8 million's a fucking drop in the fucking bucket compared to what we need. I'm kind of curious, but the thing about it is he has all of these at 100. I know I need to help my friend, but he's in India, so like his internet's like I was playing on a 200 ping. Jesus Christ. I mean, even if it makes sense, that's why I said like glyphs at 100. I don't get why full he would use full and he uses the other one. That's what like I don't get like he would use full and Talon. Like, and that's even if you can get a 12x multiplier. That's even if you're getting a 12x multiplier, even. Like, that doesn't make sense. Like, so, like, even if you go, it's a 12x multiplier, that is still low. See, I will say the thing about like Paragon level prestige type stuff, it always tires me out. Like in reality, yeah, I need. Yep. See, like my attack power is fucking retarded. Okay? Like, my absolute attack power is retarded for this character. In general. And it looks like derpy shit. Welcome to most spiritborn. Most spiritborn literally look terrible. Spiritborn fashion is not the greatest when it comes to it. So, you know, I'll be the first to say it. think it looks good, but it don't look. Be funny if I get a lot of it night. A lot of these at 90. Fine, I guess after. Problem is, it takes him forever to finish running those. He's going to take... Dear God. Ari's a friend of mine, but... I was literally redoing, like... Woke up this morning and the first thing I did was I had to clean out a lot of my inventory, switch out stuff, and just go through a bunch of like 1GAs from bosses. Really? Really? So yeah. I'd have to see on this build. I think it is good. It's just going to take leveling to figure it out what it's going to take, though.
Shit. Go 4 hours, 3 hours a day. Aren't you in bed, Edward? I'll have to probably call it shorter today. Playing a while, by the way, Edward. Long time on games. But I will have to probably call it earlier today, because I am going to have to go, like, take a break temporarily anyways. But no, I gotta figure out this build now. The final technical part's gonna be figuring out the Paragon, so. But I am gonna probably lay down soon. So probably dead air for the last. But as I say, something came up and I'm going to have to go off, or I'm just going to go walk around a second. So I shall be back probably tomorrow and another day. Because I want to go AFK in game too. It's gonna be great. Anyways, I will catch people tomorrow. Or was it tomorrow at 3?